Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State has warned against election rigging during the November 8th governorship election in the state. Soludo disclosed this while alleging that some opposition have written election results ahead of next month's poll. Speaking during his campaign rally in Oka, the governor warned that those who have written election results will not get away with it. We'll have a video actually when he was making those postulations. Let's get the video in.
I'm saying 13 local governments where they said they will write the results and bring it in. We will be waiting for them and be clapping for them on that day to write the results and bring. Nobody has ever done that. If you do that successfully and leave Anambra, we will give you an award. And people determined, organized, no force on earth can thwart their will. They say they have written the results. They are going to import thousands of thugs into Anambra to be able to thwart the people. Are they going to overwhelm us? No. We are waiting. We are following them. We know what they are planning. We know who they are planning with. We know when they want to come. We know how they want to come. We are waiting for them. November 8th, let them come and practice it in Anambra.
Meanwhile, the African Democratic Congress ADC governorship candidate in Anambra State, John Chuma Nwosu, has accused Governor Soludo of using local government funds to influence voters ahead of the November 8th governorship election. Nwosu alleged that the All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA-led administration was coercing communities to make donations to support Soludo's campaign, describing the action as a clear breach of the Electoral Act 2022. We still have with us in the studio Press Francis Chilaka, a political analyst, and also Elvis Eli Mehile, also happens to be a political and public affairs commentator, still join us here. I'm from Oka, Anambra State. We have been joined by Barrister Clem Agui, who happens to be a public affairs analyst and also a former local government council chairman of Njikoka local government area in Anambra State. And from Abuja, we have Ochuma Ejiga Benjamin, a lawyer and a public policy consultant. Good morning, if you can hear me. Good morning, Barrister Ejiga Benjamin.
Good morning.
Thank
and
you
it's my pleasure being part of this program.
All right, Barrister Clem Agui, good morning, if you've joined the conversation. Barrister, I would like to start off with you, Barrister Clem Agui. What is really happening in Anambra State? In one breath, the governor of the state is saying that some people have already penned down the result of the election that will come up on the 8th of November. And in another breath, he's been accused of using local government funds to influence voters and all that. Help us actually work around this, because I know you've actually played, within the political space in Anambra State as a former local government council chairman.
Thank you very much. One, a lot is happening in Anambra State this time around. The political atmosphere is charged, and we're all waiting for November. I call it November because it's Soludo's date with history in Anambra State, because it's going to be that election. It's not just an election; it's going to be a referendum of his 3 years and more, 4 years in office, and we will have to decide. We've heard about the speculations about people saying that they're going to write the result, they can win at all costs, and we're waiting for them, like the governor said, to come into Anambra State and write the result, and then win the result outside the mandate of the people. But what we have asked is, let there be free, fair, credible election where the people's votes will count. And it's also disheartening that at this point in time in our history, people are still nursing the stupid ideas that they can just phantom result and write the result and win at all cost, because maybe you think you are connected to INEC or to the federal government or to whomever you think you are connected. It is the people's vote we're talking about. And coming to what was said by the ADC candidate, I don't like it when politicians talk from the two sides of their mouth. They say that the government of the day is using local government funds for election. And again, he said that communities are being coerced to donate to the governor's campaign. I mean, that's ridiculous. If the communities are being coerced to donate to the governor's campaign, why is he using local government funds at the same time to conduct the election? My own community, where I came from, has a check already for the governor, and we are begging him to come. We're not even getting a date. for him to come because we want to donate to his campaign because we love the work he's doing. We love the direction where he's taking Anambra to. And the people of Enugu are waiting for him, begging him to come so that we can endorse him and also donate to the campaign. Because you see, when a man is doing very well and people want to be part of it, they want to be part of it because they want to be part of that history.
Now, when you say that he's doing very well, Barrister Clem Agoye, if he's really doing very well, like you pointed out, then the political space in Anambra will not be tense. We will not see people who are trying actually their best to occupy that position. If you say he's doing very well, he would have come out of being, presented to the people on the polls.
Yes, are gamblers. They're like addicts. They only want to gamble and try their luck, even though they know that they're not going to even win their polling unit. You will see politicians permutating like the typical gambler is in the betting store. So that's the way it is in politics. And I'm not equally opposed to the fact that there are people who are contesting and competing. I mean, that is normal and expected in democracy. Okay. When I say the political atmosphere in Anambra is that, of course, election is like a Christmas season. When it comes, whether there is money in your pocket or no money in your pocket, the season is there. The atmosphere changes, the Hamatan comes. So it's same thing with election. People are
Clems, let me stay with you. Barrister Clems, let me stay with you. If you watched the video that we just played in the course of the intro, the governor came across as someone who is already jittery, Did you read that in his body language when he said, look, people that they say they are coming, we are waiting for them, we'll congratulate them, if they do it successfully and leave Anambra, he came across as someone who is jittery and at the same time issuing a threat. What's your interpretation of the governor's body language in all of that?
To come to Anambra State and try result and then get away from Anambra State, then you're welcome. Come and do that. The people are there. People are ready to vote. People are ready to make sure that their vote counts. People are ready to make sure that what was declared is what they voted for. So if you think you can do otherwise, welcome. We'll congratulate you now. We'll clap for you. Come and do it now. If you think Anambra is a place where you come and do whatever you like and then go away, then come. Personally, we are waiting for you. You
are merely repeating what
it doesn't signify. You can see the sarcasm in that word.
Okay.
It means that you cannot do any kind of stuff you want to do that is illegitimate and illegal in Anambra State and get away with it. You cannot.
Okay.
Anambra State is the standard of election, and the people of Anambra State understand how the elections are conducted. And people of Anambra State knows how they vote in the election. And this Anambra is not a place where you will come and say you do any kind of things or mago and then get away with it. No, not Anambra State.
Okay, these people that we are talking about, do you by chance read the governor's mind? Could it be the party at the center? Because they have been saying, look,
I wouldn't be reading the governor's mind. I'm from Anambra State.
Okay.
And we have had ears. We hear things. We see things happening.
Okay, so what have you heard? What do you think is going to happen?
Yes,
where do you think this threat is coming from?
For example, let me tell you.
Okay.
You see, we have had some of these people when they go for their meetings, and instead of discussing issue-based politics, that what they're going to do, they're talking about how they have a federal might and what they can do with the federal might. I mean, we know where these are coming from.
Okay.
And it's not as if we're strangers to all those kind of things. But one thing is to have to be delusional. One thing is to think you can do this. But then another is your ability to do that thing you think you can do. What we're saying is this: Anambra State people knows what they want, and they are banking on the fact that I need to be respectful enough to respect the wishes of the people.
Okay.
Anambra is Abga land. Abga is Anambra.
Okay, so what the governor is doing is just to raise the red flags, to one INEC, one
the governor is not raising red flag. The governor is advancing because of free and fair election.
All right.
The governor is advancing because of electoral reform, whereby the people vote will be respected. The governor is not saying, I must win this election, or I must not win this election.
The
governor is saying that the vote of the people must count, and the people's mandate must be respected.
Interesting point.
Thank
you so much, Barrister Clem. Let's take this to Abuja before bringing it back to the studio. Barrister Ochoma, Jacob Benjamin. What do you make of that particular statement by the Anambra State Governor? Also, just suppose the fact that I think October 25th was the date INEC slated to conduct a mock, there in that state, so that they will make sure that they have, make sure that the upgraded bimodal voter accreditation system is working, and people of the Anambra also should get ready for the transmission of results to be done electronically after the November 8th election. I would like you to unmute your microphone or the mic of your device if you can hear me. You can go ahead if you've done that.
Okay. Thank you for having me once more. And I would like to go straight to the point. The governor has expressed his fear. And what he said is very, very important when you look at the antecedents of our off-cycle elections. For instance, in Kogi State, it was glaring, and even INEC admitted it, that election results was written even before the election. The evidence was there, and they even announced that there was going to be a rerun. Then they did a U-turn. A rerun was never done. Told the losers to go to court, and we all know the outcome all the way to the Supreme Court. So when you look at that, you look at Edo State, the fear being expressed by the governor cannot just be trivialized. It is real in our polity. Now, having said that, I would like to say that the backbone of all of this still boils down to the Electoral Act that we are operating. It is the same Electoral Act that was used in the last general election and other off-cycle elections. And prior to the elections, we were promised heaven and earth by the INEC that results were going to be transmitted electronically. That gave a lot of us confidence, and we went all out to exercise our franchise. But what happened? INEC turned around and said that is no longer going to be done. And they resorted to manual transmission. And by doing that, they took us back 20 years in our electoral history. Now, what I mean by manual transmission is election results being written in longhand on paper, the Form EC8 being transported by Okada, the National Union of Road Transport Workers, by taxi, all over the place. And the simple truth remains that in that process, this result can easily be swapped. And that was what played out in Kogi State, in Edo State, in the general election. In the name of a glitch, the whole electronic transmission was swept aside for the presidential election that brought President Tinubu into power. That is what we are talking. So what is our assurance that electronic transmission is going to be adhered to in the coming election?
So when you say what is your assurance, you have the new INEC chairman, Amopito, promising Nigerians that he's going to look into that particular glitch that happened. And also we're getting also from the Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Victoria Temesi, telling Anambra people that the mock is just for them to make sure that everything is in place for the electronic transmission of the result. That's Anambra State gubernatorial result after the election on November 8th.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, the backbone is the Electoral Act. Okay. It is that same Electoral Act that we used for the general election that brought President Tinubu into power, that brought Governor Dodo into power, that brought Okwebolo in Edo State into power. It is that same act that we are still using.
Thank you so much.
It has not been, yeah.
All right,
it is that same Electoral Act we are still using. It has not been amended. Now, we have a new INEC chairman. He is the leader of INEC, but the institution remains the same. And the backbone of INEC is the Electoral Act.
Thank you so much.
The promise that we had prior to the last general election is even more than the promise they are giving us now.
Thank you for that point. Thank you so much, Barrister
yeah,
Benjamin, for that point. We have to bring it to the studio because of press for time. But Mr. Prince Francis Chilaka, what do you have to say about this? Because when Barrister Clemage was talking, you were giggling. And also, let's remember that during the, inauguration that happened, the commissioning of projects that happened in Anambra State, Soludo single-handedly come up to say that APGA does not have any presidential candidate, and he is, supporting the president, the incumbent, for his return in 2027. So are we seeing, some persons at this point in time trying to renege on their promise, or maybe whatever thing they must have discussed behind closed doors and give this particular seat to someone else?
Fina, you know why I was laughing? I was laughing because suddenly Charles Soludo has found himself in a hole. And usually we say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but this tunnel doesn't have a light at all, not even a candle light. You know, when Charles Soludo, I think 2 months back or so, publicly endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he talked about the wonderful things the president was doing and all of that, I asked that question, and I will ask that question again. I said to Charles Soludo then, I said, you are endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the candidate of ABGA. Do you also realize that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's party, the APC, has a candidate in your state? And a lot of people came after me. Oh, you shouldn't have said. I said, but it's playing out, because if you're saying that the people are writing results, come out openly and tell us. You do not expect that ADC, Labour Party, they don't have the instrument to write results. So the people writing the result, which we know, is the APC. So you should come out and tell us who is writing the result. Now he has found himself in cul-de-sac and he doesn't know what to do anymore.
So wasn't that some kind of quid pro quo, for Soludo? You give me, I give you.
In what way?
Yeah, I mean, you deliver me, I deliver you.
Do you expect that a Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the leader of APC, will sit idly and allow a Charles Soludo to win governorship election in that state?
Probably with the agreement that when you win, you move over.
Among politicians, there's no agreement. There's no agreement. Let us be sincere and honest with ourselves. It's about interest. As it is right now, Charles Soludo has seen the handwriting on the wall. So he's jittering.
Okay, so that
I was thinking that when Charles Soludo endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as ABGA's consensus candidate, I was expecting that by now he would have decamped to APC. That was a very wrong move. If he doesn't know, it was a wrong move. Because Bola Ahmed Tinubu would not support a Charles Soludo against his own party's candidate.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Francis. Let's get your opinion, Mr. Elvis, please, before.
Yeah, the issue there is, like the barrister said from Abuja, is the electoral reform. If we have electoral reform, as they told us in 2022-2023 that the results were going to be transmitted electronically and there was going to be minimal human interference, all these issues that we are talking about, somebody is writing results, would have arisen. Nobody would have been afraid or jittering. But unfortunately, the politicians know where they have to take the truth away from the people, because they know too well that many of them that are sitting there cannot win election. So they will leave those gray areas in those electoral reforms. Before the 2023 election became something that everybody had to start going to the court, nobody actually knew that there was still a clause that INEC has the discretion to talk about the method they are going to use to collate electoral result. Until we got to the court now started interpreting that, yes, it's INEC that has the prerogative to say, oh, we are going to do it manually or we are going to do it electronically. That was a gray area that was not known between Nigerians when we were hearing that, oh, 2023 general election is going to be transmitted into IRF and everybody is going to start seeing the result as soon as from the polling booth to the ward and all that, but we never saw that. Here we are now. You saw what happened in Edo State. Was there really an election in Edo State? So if Charles Soludo is already afraid of the result that is going to come out in Anambra, he is only drawing inference from what happened in Edo State and what happened in Kogi State. And it is not going to stop there. You just made mention of Soludo endorsing Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027 general election. Let me tell you, it's a very that's a banana peel. He's stepping up. We saw it in 2003 in this nation, 2003, when PDP and AD came together, and AD said they were going to endorse PDP presidential candidate, that's Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And what happened? Just that singular act, they lost 5 states in the southwest. Only this president, when he was governor there, that survived it as AD governor. So that this same president knows all these intricacies. He knows all these political secrets and intrigues. He knows them. So anybody that is endorsing Tinubu because I want to remain in my state so that I'm going to win, you are making mistake. If it doesn't sit well, unfortunately, he's only threatening. He doesn't have the armed forces.
Elvis, between you and Prince Chilaka, are you of the opinion? Are you telling Nigerians that Anambra is already taken by the APC?
Except God intervenes, and these people have to come out more forcefully and be vigilant. I told election, you saw when there was no coalition at the ward, then they have to move to INEC head office in Benin. Is it done? Even when they went to the court, the court see that as an aberration. They didn't see it as an offense. Today, is it not the way they want it that has happened in Edo? So something of that nature can still happen in Anambra if care is not taken. So the governor should just go and, like we say in Nigeria here, we're very good at doing fasting and prayer. If you do more fasting and prayer and because some of those things that God has already answered for us, we go back and start asking God, Otherwise, we will see what happens in Edo play out in Anambra.
All right, let's stretch it. Let's stretch this a little bit. Aisha Yusufu has declared it's time for women to lead Nigeria, saying that the men have failed. In fact, she says male presidents have failed the nation. Now, she said, speaking boldly at the Girls Summit held in Umuahia, Aisha Yusufu declared male presidents have failed us and insisted that women must no longer be sidelined from positions of power, especially the presidency. She challenged the stereotypes of cultural barriers that continue to hold women back, saying it was unfair that female aspirants are often ridiculed, while men, no matter how incompetent, underline that word, are accepted as leaders. Okay, that's the point that she's putting forward, that men have continued to rig and men have failed. How do you react to this statement? The women we've seen so far, do you think we should go that way and, just parties should just come together, put forward, women, even for the presidency, governors and the rest? Would that be where our salvation lie?
No, you're asking.
I'm asking you. Yes, as I'm looking at you.
You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Laughing because our Nigerian women talk too much with little action. The voting class are women. But this voting class do not support women. At the end of the day, they will all queue up behind the men. They do not support themselves. They don't see themselves as being, capable of taking that responsibility.
Is it because they don't have money to share?
No, it's not about money. Each time they want to be given, they want it to be given to them on a platter of gold. It's not done that way. Because if you put 5 men here and 2 women for an election, you will be shocked that the women that will come out to vote will vote the men. So the problem is not whether they want to give power to the women or not. The problem is that the Nigerian women, do they trust themselves to vote themselves?
All right, when you say, that women are the ones who are actually causing all this, they wouldn't want to vote in women and they want to vote in men and all that. Let's get your opinion on this, Elvis. Looking at the political structure of Nigeria, can you say that Nigeria has ever been so fair to women? Imagine the back and forth happening in the National Assembly at this point in time over a particular woman and the National Assembly member and, the whole thing. Can you say that women actually have been treated fair in Nigeria political space?
It's relative. Absolutely. If you look at let's just take out the National Assembly out of it first, because at least that woman got opportunity to get into the house.
Even after some people wanted to, mad.
Yes, you saw what she fought in Kogi before she got that position to get into the house. Let's also look at go back a little bit in this nation. If you have heard of Dr. Sarah Jubri in this nation, she was a woman, a very strong politician who have made attempts to get into that presidency 4 times. We even saw her contesting with men. At the time, the last primary she did, she had only 1 vote.
And she voted for
For only herself. So in that regard, you understand what Prince is saying here, that the women have to first of all love themselves before they now begin to talk of, okay, let us support men. We are not saying they should not support whoever they want to support. Love yourself and support yourself. So if Aisha Yusufu is coming up with that postulation that, oh, men are, you use one word you don't say underline. I don't want to repeat it, honestly, because power is something you must fight for, even in family, among brothers and sisters. When it comes to sharing things, you know too well that it is not just the same way we sit down and joke that you share those things.
Okay.
And in politics in Nigeria, it's all about sharing. So for women to be relevant, they have to do more for themselves and love themselves.
All right, then. We still have with us the barristers that join us from Enugu. We have, I beg your pardon, from Oka. We have Barrister Claire Maguyi, and from Abuja, Barrister Ochuma Benjamin. We'd like you gentlemen to stay with us. We have to let Prince Francis Chilaka go and then bring on Dele Fanimo, who is a reporter, as he also comes to share his view on this one. So we'll be back after this very short break. Join us again.